Wait, I think we're live. Okay.
Sick.
Yeah, wait. So let me double check. Let me go online and make sure that it's happening. I'm not sure. Okay. Yes, it is officially. We are live. Okay. Everyone, welcome
Awesome, yeah.
aboard. Great to have you here. It's Nerd Night episode 54.
Yes. It's all fun.
And no darling. So if you're here and you're watching maybe from somewhere, I don't know where it is you're watching from, welcome aboard. We are glad you could join us. We do have a lot of really interesting conversations to chat about today. Backstage has already been heating up. There's a lot of really good stories that we've shared already in backstage. So if you've just joined us, buckle in. There is a lot of really good show that we've got installed. We've also introduced the very first episode of Insight from an Ex. So Abdul is the guinea pig. He's the guinea pig for today, who's our special guest. So I am looking forward to this conversation. So I think the best way to sort of go around it is a quick introduction, guys. What do you reckon? Do you think we should introduce each other, or just BS everyone and just move on? Nah, I reckon we should introduce each other. All right. Okay.
Oh, wait. Are you saying we're going to introduce each other, so not ourselves?
No. Ourselves. So I'm going to prompt, and then we're gonna go. We're gonna go at it. Cool. All right. So. My name is Sammy Chucks. If you do not know who I am the malware bender. Well, actually, I don't know if I'm the malware bender, but or the last malware bender, or whatever the word is. Funny enough, Nathan, your face is absolutely being covered by this on OBS. So let me quickly make you look a little bit better. So your face is no longer covered. So we'll come back to this, and then I'll continue my introduction. So you don't look old. Oh, there you go. That looks a lot better. So my name is Sammy Chucks, and I'm the CEO and founder of CyLynk. If you've just joined us, you have literally landed in the best place possible on a Saturday night. Well, Saturday night if you're in Australia, and if you're in Africa, it's probably more closer to afternoon or morning, depending on what part of Africa you're from. And if you're in the US, you're probably still in your Friday, or maybe just getting into your Saturday. Well, whatever place, whatever time it is, even if you're in Mass, welcome to Nerd Night episode 54. And at CyLynk, our mission is quite simple. We want to train 10 million people, not 100 million people. It would be nice to be 100 million people, but we want to train 10 million people, with critical cybersecurity job-ready skills, especially targeting those in underserved communities and untapped regions globally. Essentially enabling these individuals to be able to defend organizations from the evolving and emerging threat landscape. So if you've just joined us, you are part of making a difference. So we do have a special guest of honor today, but before I introduce him, I will let Nathan, the malware alchemist, Mr. Awesome Noodles. I'll let him introduce himself. So Nathan, mate, you want to give us a quick introduction?
G'day, everyone. I'm Nathan. As Sammy said, I'm the Noodle Man. I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
I heard something about a noodle.
Yeah, Noodle Man. Yes, absolutely. The liquid Noodle Man.
I like noodles and ramen too. How
hot is your?
What's that going?
I was going to say, how hot do you like your ramen? Are you like the really, really spicy ramen guy, or you're like, like what is your spice tolerance?
I like it, flaming hot, but
Yes.
I like it, like it's just come out of the freezer, frozen ramen, but flaming hot.
Frozen? Oh, seriously. Well, before we go into trash talk, continue with that introduction.
Okay. All right. I'm a threat hunter. I suppose you could say I'm an automator of everything, an all-rounder, a malware analyst guy, and I can write malware if you want me to, and then we can do something fun with it. And I live in the Arctic. That's where I'm based.
Yeah, that was what we learned last week. We learned that Nathan is actually based in the Arctic, and not in Australia. Definitely not in Melbourne, Australia.
No, I just connect via a VPN to make it look like I'm from Melbourne, but I'm not.
Okay, cool. Well, I know you guys cannot see Nathan. I am actually going to share his face, But before we continue on and introduce our special guest of honor today, Mr. Abdul, the real man himself. Before we do that, I kind of wanted to maybe give a shout out to everyone who's watching out there at the moment. So if you're watching with us, okay, that is actually pretty cool. That was actually pretty cool. If you're watching with us, I want to say thank you for jumping in. I'm going to bring these guys out. Give me a second. Let me pop them out so you guys can see them. Oh, yes. There you go. And then perhaps I can share my screen so that you guys can see. Cool. Give me a second. Let me quickly do this in an awesome share screen thing so that everyone can sort of see what I'm doing, and then you guys can see their faces as well. Their awesome faces.
No, stream has ended.
What?
If you look on the screen, it says the stream has ended.
Where did you see? Oh, wait. No, that's the what is it called? Yeah. The Discord stream. What are you doing, Nathan? Mate, stop trying to scare me. Why are you being so mean to me, Nathan? Why?
We should check. Can people actually see that on YouTube? It'd be kind of funny, actually.
I think
they
the
stream has ended.
I think they can. Let's double check. I was actually going to give a shout out to everyone on the comment section. So I guess this is a perfect time to do it. I'm just trying to work out this. Actually, I'll just do this for now, and then we can get to it later. So if you can see us on YouTube, can you quickly give us a shout out? Wave your hand in the comment section if you can still hear us. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think it's still live. Yes, it is still live. Yes, it's still working. All right. Oh, wow. So depending on where you're watching from, if you are there, can you please say hi, everyone? Can you say hello? Oh, there you go. I can see Nathan is commenting in the comment section.
Who's that CyLynk guy?
I have no idea who CyLynk is. Good day, mate. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yep, can see everyone. That is pretty awesome. All right. I do believe I need to get my camera up here so that you guys can sort of see. Yeah, I am there. You guys can see me. So what I do need to do is maybe fix the sharing thing so that everyone can sort of see that, share screen, whatever you call it. So give me a second. Let me pull that out. So it looks really nice. Okay.
Sammy's sound disappeared all of a sudden.
My sound? Can you hear me still?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hear you now, but I saw your mouth moving for a little bit on YouTube, and it just disappeared.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just trying to make this thing work. Present. That's the word. Yeah, there you go. I think that works. Now the problem though is that it's presenting on the wrong screen. So what I'll do is I'll move it in here so that everyone can sort of see and enjoy this awesome goodness. All right. So I just need to quickly click on that present button. And then that. Perfect. I think I fixed it. That is the thing made in heaven. All right. That was a bit of a technical, I don't know, game. Well, where were we? Nathan, I think we were just introducing yourself. You said you are Mr. Liquid Noodles, and you like your ramen hot and frozen. I have no idea how you eat frozen spicy ramen, but anyways, whatever the situation, we're here and we can see you. But thanks so much for that introduction. Well, now for the man of the hour, for the main dude that we all came here to see. No one cares about Nathan and I, really. Who cares about Nathan and I?
I do.
It's Abdul that we came here to listen to. I don't know. Like everyone at NerdKnight has probably heard our voices too many times now that they're sick of it. They're like, it's same old. It's Sammy's voice. Like it sounds awesome, but yeah, it's Nathan's weirdness and his dad jokes. Well, by the way, classic dad jokes as well. Well, if you are watching, can you please tell us where you're watching from? Just chuck that in the comment section. Try not to give us your home address because you may be doxxed. just tell us what country you're watching from. And if you're kind enough, you can tell us what city, from what part of the world you're watching us from. Okay, so Abdul, like your introduction, we're obviously going to do a bit of a mini interview, which would be the first segment of Insight from an X. But before we kind of dive into that, do you want to give us a quick, nitty gritty, nugget bite-sized introduction where you basically just tell us, your name, what you do for work, and I guess some fun fact about you, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for coming by and watching. My name's Abdul. I'm 22 years old and I study electrical engineering at the University of Sydney. A little fun fact about me, and one that I'm also very proud of, considering CyLynk's motto, is I'm from Libya, North Africa.
Woohoo!
I was born there. All my family currently live there. And yeah, that's a little fun fact about me. And yeah, hopefully, we'll have a really good, fun little chat today. I work part-time as a DFIR analyst, but I mainly go to university as an electrical engineer. And also hack, pen test for fun, maintain some cool pen testing projects for fun online. Some people might know WADComs. That one's pretty popular.
Don't give all the good stuff away. Just make the people wait. Make them wait.
That's it.
Don't give all the good stuff away already. So, guys, if you have not already started smashing the comment, start smashing the comment section already, please start doing so. And I'm still waiting to hear what people are actually watching from. And by the way, Abdul will also be quite happy to answer your question if you can put your question in the comment section as well. So, obviously, in the perfect, I guess, spirit of NerdKnight, it's definitely not a captive audience. So if you're watching there, if you want to contribute to NerdKnight, if you want to contribute to Trash Talk, definitely add your take in the comment section. We don't have any super chats at the moment, but we do accept stakes for donation. Oh, by the way, a huge shout out to Nathan. You go.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask: are we accepting chocolate steaks as well?
Not the chocolate ones, mate. Like seriously, we really need to have a conversation about this whole chocolate steak thing.
Your diet.
We really need to have a conversation about chocolate coated steak. Like seriously, mate. Anyways, you go, keep going.
This originally came up as a conversation because there have been a few people online who have tried to use it to not only preserve meat, but they also use it to try and penetrate the steak to try and get that chocolatey flavor into the meat. And then they try and cook it to see if it improves it.
We actually have someone watching from Turkey. Shout out to River Song from Turkey, mate. Great to see you, mate.
Turkish.
Oh, give us. How do you say thank you in Turkish?
Merhaba, nasılsınız? Thank you is teşekkür ederim. Yes.
Oh, nice. Well, River Song, if Abdul got it right, smash that that love heart button so that we know that he's got it right. Or it might actually be that he's just speaking gibberish.
No,
absolute gibberish. Here's the thing, though. Like, I feel like we're getting into trash talk without even getting into trash talk already. This is cool. I'm loving this already. So, look, the next section, guys. You guys know what section it is. It is trash talk section. So let's. Oh, okay. River Song said you got it right. There you go. So anyone else who's watching, tell us where you're watching from. You obviously know how we roll here. Where's my mouse? Mouse is not working.
Do I get rewards if I can speak their language? Is that how it is?
Yeah, absolutely. That's how it is. Okay. And the segment of the hour is here. It's Trash Talk. Yeah. So if you are here and you're wondering what time it is Trash Talk time. So I'm trying to pause the music that is playing, but it's actually not pausing. So give me a second, guys.
Maybe you just have to press the pause button.
Well, it doesn't quite work like that. But anyways, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna hope that the music doesn't go forever. In which case, there's gonna be a music over my voice. You guys cannot hear it, but those on YouTube can probably hear it. But anyways, for Trash Talk today, for those who have never attended Nerd Night before, Trash Talk is that segment where we have someone watching from Antarctica. That's Nathan. We have someone here from South Australia. Is that SA? SA as in South,
South Australia.
South Australia or South Africa? Which one is it? And then Internal Stranger is watching from Melbourne. Woohoo! Go Melbourne.
Awesome.
Who else is watching from where? Okay, I think the music is finally over, guys. Oh boy. Okay, now that's back to normal. I do apologize, everyone. The music was only supposed to go for a few seconds, but if you have already been to Nerd Night before, you know that we're still figuring this out. So this is our second stream. Nathan, is it second stream since we went live to the public? I think it's the third, right? So we're still figuring it out. We're still figuring out how to use, Canva, OBS, and all the streaming software. Oh, we do have someone from Nigeria. Go Nigeria! And we do have someone from Melbourne as well, Mr. Deborah Ebelike, and we have Dami from Nigeria. So welcome everyone. I do know how to say thank you in a few languages. Obrigado. I have no idea what language that is. Emailer, that's Igbo. Shegon, that's Yoruba. Shese, that's Chinese. Asante Sena, I have no idea what language that is. If you know what language I'm saying thank you in, everyone, for watching, tell me what language it is in the comment section. I have no idea. I'll leave it there. Guys,
I have another one.
What one is it?
Ta.
Australian
slang.
Baby language. Yeah, arigato. Yes, that sounds very Italian. Dante. Yes, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for jumping in. Well, it is Trash Talk time. And for Trash Talk today, the prompt for Trash Talk today is going to be pretty awesome. So let me actually pull it out so you guys can see. So wanting to get this thing going. So the first prompt for the day is red versus blue team. Who has it the hardest? And who whines the most? So, Abdul, what do you reckon? Red versus blue team, who has it the hardest?
Who has it the hardest? I think blue teamers have it the hardest.
Yes. The blue teamers go blue team. Go blue team.
But who whines the most? Red teamers whine the most.
Yeah, they've got a massive ego. I have major issues with red teaming.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, here's the thing. Let me walk you through a very simple scenario, right? You're on a pen testing engagement.
This sounds like
right?
a PhD lecture.
Right. No. You're on a red team engagement, right? You walk into this guy's client. You run one command, right? You run certify, find vulnerable, right? And you are spoiled. You're spoiled for like all those enrollment certificate abuse patterns, right? The ones that take one command for you to become domain admin. You got here 10 minutes ago, right?
Lord.
You're already domain admin in this $10 billion company, right? For the rest of your engagement, you're just having a swimming little time, right? You're already domain admin. You're doing whatever, right? And then you look at your average blue teamer, right? He's got 3,000 high alerts on his dashboard. He slept last time 3 days ago. His desk is covered in coffee. Right?
And
His
Red Bull
boss-
and whatever the other drinks they're into. That sounds like Nathan's background. Nathan, is that the average security analyst background that you've got there?
Yes and no. If you know that you're dealing with a bunch of duplicates, then you don't really have 3,000 alerts.
Well, the point is you gotta know enough to know you're dealing with a bunch of duplicates. But here's the twist, Nathan. What if all those alerts came in all at once and you don't have automation? What do you do then?
You look for the duplicates, you close all the duplicates, and then you deal with the one. Or just open the first alert and ignore the rest.
How do you know that something is a duplicate when you've never worked on it before? By the way, for those who are obviously watching online, which one do you think has it the most bad? Red teamers or blue teamers? Abdul reckons blue teamers has it the worst. And he also reckons that, red teamers have a massive ego. They whine the most. It's like, whoa, we don't have an OSCP. Give us an OSCP.
I want to know, Sammy.
Well,
So you're asking the question, who has it the worst? In what way?
well, on the day-to-day job, who has the most red eye after a shift? After working for, I don't know, 12 hours, 4 days on a row. Who does that? Huh? Like I feel like red team is just basically they're walking like James Bond.
They're having a great time. Yeah, they're having a great time, man. Like, I'm having a great time. Like I'm like poning your environment, right? Like I'm just doing whatever, popping shells, like throwing hashes around. I'm having a great time, man.
I know. They're basically just walking, press the red button, and they walk away, and then they give you a 2,000 page report. They give you a 2,000 page report. Anyway, so for those who are watching online, tell us what you think, who you think has it the worst. And I want to see one person who is in support of the red team. Nathan, I think you're in support of the red team. So explain yourself, mate.
Technically, I think the blue team has it easier in one way because there's unlimited work. But on the red team, you have to look for contracts.
Job guaranteed. There's job guaranteed in the blue team. Have you guys
contracts?
Have you guys seen the meme? Have you seen the meme of Peter? Peter, who's 37 years old, and he's like, cybersecurity is definitely not stressful. But if you look at Peter's face, Peter is like 87 years old. That sounds like blue team. So Nathan, is that what you're saying? Is great having unlimited amount of work that that you literally have nothing to do with, right?
Well, technically, they both have it hard, so they actually have it just as hard as each other. But
you reckon?
I think the blue team are in a bit of a nicer position or whatever because they have job stability, whereas the red team doesn't.
Well, it depends on the organization that you're in. Like one of the things that I find, well, one of the things that I find exciting is that sometimes the red teamers, like I guess. We can all kind of talk about this, pretty easily because we've all worked in both red team and blue team, the three of us. So it's kind of easy to sort of go, yeah. The red team have it easier because literally all you have to do is I don't know, point Tenable to like a subnet and then just go scan everything and then make it recursive. And it just gives you a massive dump, but you're like, it's almost like you're playing the game of whack-a-mole. What vulnerability do I exploit first?
That's crazy. That's a great way to think about it. Yeah, I mean, and then again, right? Like when you think about it, like at least at work for me, like, I walk into a case, our thinking is like, downtime, right? Like say it's a ransomware, or say that it's a compromise and this company's rebuilding, whether it be like an energy company or like a healthcare provider, right? It's like tens of thousands of dollars. It's like serious consequences that are going every day because of what you will and won't do as a blue teamer, right? Whereas like when I'm a red teamer, I don't have that worry. I mean, chances are I've fulfilled the requirements of the engagements 1 hour the moment it started, right? I'd already domain admin. I don't know, like I figured out printer, your domain control was vulnerable to printer bug, or I was able to, I don't know, like abuse ADCS, right? Or like any other of those like standard, I don't know, like I was able to Kerberos your SQL service account and it turned out its password was 12345 and it was the domain admin for some reason, right?
Summer 2024 or 2025.
Yeah. So it's like an hour within the red teaming engagement, I've already done my job. But like you're walking in as a blue teamer, and like it's like
how many tickets came in today?
Determines thousands, determines tens of thousands of dollars, right? So it's like I guess one doesn't have a financial responsibility, and the other one's like on the hook for a lot.
Yeah, like I remember when I worked as a threat detection engineer, like. No 2 days were the same, and they were always stressful. It's either the log indexer is dead, or the log analytics engine is not working, or you have alerts firing up on this side. Oh, assist log is not receiving logs anymore. So like literally, you're playing a game of whack-a-mole in the blue team. So anyways, for those who are wondering, what are we referring to? So if you're new to cybersecurity and you're wondering what is this red team and blue team we're talking about here, typically, not always. Cybersecurity is divided across, multiple different segments. I think Nathan thinks that GRC is brown team.
Yeah, GRC is the
Your
brand.
shit. Your shit. Yeah.
No, actually, I do love GRC. I'll tell you guys why. When I learned to love GRC after I got into leadership in cyber, that was when I understood how important GRC was. But anyways, so typically, if you're in the red team, that means you're obviously, attacking to help organizations discover vulnerabilities that threat actors might otherwise come and exploit. And then if you're on the blue team, that means you're essentially building defensive capabilities. So you might either be deploying a SIEM if you're an engineer, or deploying a firewall, or I don't know, hardening a server. And if you're in the, if you're essentially in the SOC, you're either trying to detect threat, or you're digital forensic analyst, essentially doing evidence gathering, or trying to help organizations recover from cyber attacks, or you're basically just sitting down there as a level 1 security analyst. False positive. benign. Ooh. Oh no, sorry. False positive.
I have a question for you, Sammy.
What?
Who do you think the detection engineer hates the most from the red team?
Well, it depends on the work they're doing, but I'll probably say the detection engineers hate any red teamer that is very stealthy. Like, if they're really hard to detect, if they're not just going in there and just executing, mimikatz or something pretty easily, that is just going to light up the whole house. If any red teamer is doing any work, again, I use the word red teaming quite loosely, because that you're a pen tester doesn't mean you're a red teamer. So, guys, for those who are holding up a rock to stone me to death, put your rock down. I am not saying that pen testing is red teaming, but in general, that's essentially the word that we're using to describe, the offensive security side of things. But typically, when any pen testing engagement or red teaming engagement is stealth, then that obviously gives detection engineers the headache, because they're not actually detecting anything, which leads to that dreaded conversation from the CISO. It's like, dude, we had a pen test last week. We did not detect anything. What happened? Are you sleeping on the wheel or something? Does that answer your question, Nathan? That's, in my experience, the thing that sticks out like a sore thumb.
Well, I have my own opinion as well. So I think the one guy that the detection engineer hates the most is the red teamer who decides to write his own malware and call direct system APIs rather than relying on command line activity, because he defeats all of his detections in one go.
Interesting. That is scary. All right, so we do have people in the comment section, providing the insight. So Internal Stranger thinks that 100% defensive, they have it the hardest since we react to attacks most of the time. Thanks so much for your contribution. And you never know what and from where you will be hit. So yeah, that's an interesting point. Thanks so much for adding your contribution. For anyone who's obviously wondering what are we doing, it's NerdKnight episode 54, and we are having a lot of fun, I would say, with Abdul here. So I think we're going to skip a prompt, because we're going to do 2 prompts of trash talk, but I think we're going to skip a prompt simply because I do want to have a chat with Abdul. Because Abdul is essentially the reason why we're having NerdKnight today. Well, you're the special guest of honor, right? Are you blushing yet? Can I see that red cheek?
You're too good to me.
All right, cool. Like, you do have a very unique, background. Sorry, we are having music again. Sorry, guys. Hopefully this one will finish early. It's not finishing. I hope you guys are enjoying this song, by the way, if you're on YouTube. Yes, we have some really good beats. And I was trying to add some nice flavor to the show, but the flavor seems to be almost 30 seconds long, which means I have to keep yabbering on like this for another 50 seconds. Do you guys want to dare me to see how long I can speak for without breathing? I might go cold and just fall on the ground. But I think we're coming to an end. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's soon gonna end.
Now he's gonna keep saying wait for it until it actually ends.
I could actually rap to this.
Wait for it for the next 2 minutes. Wait for it.
It's Insight from an X, and Abdul is the main guest, and he's here to have fun. And Cyber is the main dude. Oh, come on, man. This song finished. I could have gone all the way, guys.
is this like a sneak peek of your album, Straight Out of Sandbox Logs Don't Lie?
Yes. What is my Nathan? What is my artist name? Do you know what my artist name is?
AKA Lil Pond.
AKA Lil Pond. Well, if you are here, hopefully you're already having fun, because this is definitely meant to be fun. So if you're not already having fun, I beseech you to really go have a chat with the doctor and ask your doctor, hey, why am I not having fun at Nerd Night? Please explain to me, why am I not having fun at Nerd Night episode 54? And then hopefully the doctor will have something to tell you. If the doctor is not able to, explain your plight, come directly to me and I'll help you understand what is going on. Because it might just be that you're not cool enough. Nah, I'm just joking. All right, Abdul, are you ready for this, mate?
Sir.
You ready for this? All right, cool. So, like, one of the things I absolutely admire about you is your persistence and your tenacity. And one of the things that people often don't look at, and I think in cybersecurity, is that there's often a story behind it. It's often a journey. People just think that one day you just wake up and you're a malware reverse engineer, or one day you just wake up and you've passed the OSCP, the OSEP, and essentially trying to be essentially OSED, which is, is it squared or cubed?
Yes, that's the one I'm going for, hopefully.
Yes.
Inshallah, if all things go well.
So basically, people just think that all of a sudden you kind of arrive in cyber, and then after you've done I don't know, like a certificate 4 in cybersecurity, and then you begin to start hacking stuff. But I do know that it's often quite the contrary. So I'm keen to hear your story. So growing up, what were some of your earliest encounter with technology? Right? Was there a particular moment when you realized this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and it certainly is fun?
That's a really great question. In terms of encounter with technology, I would say it was with PlayStation. I like to think that my dad got me a PlayStation without me asking when it was first released in early 2013. Because he saw it on a magazine when he was in a fly Emirates, right? Remember back then, like Emirates was kind of like ahead of everyone. So like they had like some crazy cool newspapers, right? At the time when the information age maybe wasn't so advanced. So they had like this magazine from Japan that was translated into Arabic, right? And it was in my dad's plain seat, and he saw that and he's like, oh, this PlayStation, I'd heard of it when I was, when he was in the 90s and whatnot, like the PlayStation 2. And he was like, you know what, like he found it in the layover and he got it for me. And that was my real like first hands-on experience with technology at the time. Like, my parents, because I was like at that age, they were like not cool with phones, computers, and iPads. So I'd never really touched a real proper electronic until my dad got me the PlayStation 4 in 2015, right? And then it kind of kicked off from there.
Well,
I guess in terms of cyber,
the question in the back of everyone's mind is, did you play this PlayStation like a normal teenager, or did you try to, you know what I mean?
I was definitely I was playing with it. I was playing. I wasn't too good. To be honest. I was pretty not good compared to all my other cousins in FIFA.
Fine. We know you're holding out on us. Fine. We're not gonna push you to tell us what you did with the PS, whatever it is, because we don't want Microsoft to come after you, mate. So it's all good. Well, so I guess Wait, sorry. Who owns PS? That's Xbox?
What's Microsoft with
PlayStation?
Oh,
but Sony's more aggressive with IP than Microsoft.
Yes,
to be fair,
Sony is the owner of the PlayStation. You guys can obviously say that I haven't played game in a while. I've been busy trying to build a startup, for goodness sake. We're crying out loud, guys. Get off my back, Nathan. All right, look. Actually, I'm keen to sort of dive in a little bit deep into that. Like, typically, obviously, growing up in Northern Africa, like, not every single kid, had a dad who could just literally go and buy them a PS. Like, what sort of a household did you grow up in? And, and looking back, like, how grateful are you for your parents being able to provide the things that you do have today?
Like, it's interesting when you mentioned that, like, when people kind of sort of start seeing, like, the certs come in, right? So maybe you would have noticed, like, my certs had multiplied over like a 3-4 month period, right?
Yeah, and also took your
One would look at that and say like, oh yeah, it took 4 months, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is, and it's especially to the point you mentioned, like I'm very privileged and unique in that I had the opportunity that my parents could not
Yeah.
only expose me things and introduce me to people who were able to expose me to beyond what I had known, but also that they had the financial ability to contribute, right? I
That's
bought the
good.
OSCP in 2021, right? That was my first introduction to
Experience.
cybersecurity,
Yeah.
right? But how many people would you know that can families that would give us 18, 17-year-old kid $1,400
Well,
and would
the point
accept
is, you know,
that it might
how
not
many
go
parents
to
can even give
anything.
you that in Northern
Yeah,
Africa? That's what the question, right?
100%, absolutely, or anywhere else, right? So I'm really incredibly fortunate that I'm where I am today, not because, I have some secret sauce that like I'm gonna sit here and tell you that like, oh yeah, I'm awesome, I'm incredible. That's how all this came. It is that there are many, many more people who are as capable or more
Mm,
capable, right? But I was fortunate in that I was in a position, and as you mentioned, especially a family that, were
yeah.
able to set me up and really allow me to, you know, be where I am today. And
Mm,
it's a lot of it has to do with luck, right? Sure, I sat down from 2021 until today, right? Just doing whatever, but there are many people willing to dedicate that much time, but how many of those people have the opportunity and the privilege to, then go on and do that? So I'm definitely very grateful of my background and my upbringing, even compared to like my siblings, right? For example, my eldest sister, she used to trade. So because I'm Muslim, we have Eid, which is like our
yeah.
version of Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And my eldest sister used to trade her yearly Eid clothes with our cousins, right? Because at the time Libya was under the embargo, and
Yeah.
so obviously there was no trade, but there was also like very little economic activity, right? And in comparison to when I grew up, right? Like if I asked my dad for anything, he'd get into a car and drive me wherever,
Mm,
right? So even compared to like my siblings, I had a totally different upbringing in that I came at a time where things were settled, right? Everyone was
yeah.
set.
Yeah. Nah,
And
that's
so
good.
that's drilled it more into me to, be very like aware that I am where I am and I've gotten where I've gotten, not
Mm.
because, I have some secret amazing thing about me, but because I've been very fortunate and I'm very grateful that my family had been able to set me up.
Nah, that's really awesome. Like, I remember having a strategy session with someone in Africa just recently, and shout out to you. You know who I am if you're watching this. And she started like that's actually this is the story of a lot of people in Africa as well, which is what CyLynk, through Hack for Good is trying to provide support as much as we can. Obviously Africa being a population of almost 1.5 billion people. Oh boy, that's a lot of humans. But
A
anyways,
lot of
the story that I just remember while you were speaking there is that I was having a chat with this young lady, and she wanted to get into cybersecurity. She started studying, and for some reason along the way her laptop died and it couldn't be repaired, and that took her an additional 2 years to be able to save up, doing an immediate job to be able to afford to buy another laptop. So which essentially means that for 2 years she could not study, not because she didn't want to study, not because she didn't love, studying, but simply because, like, literally, quite physically, she could not do it because she did not have the means to do so, right? And stories like that is often this kind of story that you hear, and then it sort of forces you to actually appreciate the experience that you had growing up, Abdul. And by the way, like, this is definitely not to make you feel bad. Like, it's great that your parents were able to provide that for you, which is why we're able to have you here today, right? Being Mr. Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome, I don't know, we'd probably call you Awesome Ramen, Mr. Awesome Ramen. All right, look, very early on, you kind of, obviously once you started your cybersecurity journey, you kind of got into CTFs. Tell us a little bit about that. And, I guess, what would you recommend as, within CTF? And would you say CTF is a great way to sort of learn cybersecurity for those who are getting in?
100%. So I've done 2 internal penetration tests, right? One of them was against a government entity, right? That had a full-fledged SOC team, whatever you may call it.
Yep.
And I domained admin that place in a day. And there's not a command, a technique, or an attack that I had done in that fully fledged enterprise environment with a SOC that I did not learn from doing Hack the Box Pro Labs, right? To be exact, I did, if I can think, Zephyr and RPG combined were magnitudes more difficult to complete than getting domain admin in this Australian government agency's environment, right?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, I think that CTF.
Let's not go into what department of the government it is, but
Sure.
how would you say? How would you say, like that shaped your mindset in general around, because one of the critiques that a lot of people, a lot of pros in cyber, have against CTF is that it makes the whole thing feel like a game, right? And often that can rob you from seeing the real impact of cybercrime and the real nature of it. So, like, how did that impact your thinking? And would you say that that is true of CTF?
I think the people who say those things, I think they probably say them more so because they are devoid of the enjoyment and the learning experience of the CTF.
Yep.
I really do think that, right? I think that
Whoa, shots fired to all cyber leaders out there.
I think no one in context who becomes a professional has that lost on them. I've never met one, and I'm sure you haven't either, right? Everyone knows the practical impacts. Everyone knows the seriousness. Everyone knows the magnitude, right? That can be true. And the immense, incredible value of CTFs is also true. And I think people who bring it down are people who are gatekeepers and inherently are against the democratization of security, right? Because if you think about it, for $8 a month, right, that's how much Hack the Box Academy costs, you could learn all the skills that I currently possess that I use at a major consulting firm.
Yes.
Right.
By the way, in case you're wondering, Hack the Box is not sponsored this stream. CyLynk is. So if you're wanting to get into cybersecurity, sorry, I have to do it. If you wanted to get into cybersecurity,
my frame of reference. I'm sorry, it's just my only frame of reference.
That's fine. That's fine, right? If you're there, just go to CyLynk.com and you can start learning and actually start gaining some of this skill set. We have a lot installed. Nathan, how cool is the next 6 months going to be at CyLynk, mate?
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Juicy potato, you reckon?
Actually, well, how much of it am I allowed to talk about? That's the question.
No, not a lot of it. You can just say it is going to be juicy potato.
Well, okay. It's going to be juicy potato. You heard it, everyone. Now, what does that mean?
So if you're wondering, we have a lot of really cool things installed. So you can learn how to play CTF from the CyLynk.com platform. And also one of the cool things we are doing is that once you learn with CyLynk, you are actually supporting our initiative called Hack for Good, right? Which is essentially trying to disrupt cybercrime syndicates in Africa and essentially its impact here in the West as well. So just to give you guys an idea, without diving into this and into the doom and gloom, but it is really important to talk about it. Within the last 2 years alone, about 47 people have died and have committed suicide globally from sextortion and from cybercrime, right? That is coming out of Africa. And often, like I said in the past, whenever that happens, multiply that number by 3. That is the amount of lives that have been destroyed in Africa. When someone dies here, often like there's 3 or 4 people that are connected to it, and they essentially go to jail for life. So this is a massive epidemic, and this is why through Hack for Good, our mission is quite simple: is to disrupt the cybercrime syndicate in Africa, so that young people in Africa can stop being going down the pathway of cybercrime and can choose alternative pathways, which is essentially cybersecurity. Whether that can be the brown field, red field, or the blue field. Well, what other fields do we have? Well, the only color you're not allowed to choose is black. You're not allowed to go black. And that's the key thing here. So we do have a CTF. That was why I'm actually talking about this. We have a CTF that is coming up in November, the Hack for Good CTF. It is going to be awesome. It is going to be the only purple teaming CTF that you've ever seen. So we're going to be doing both red teaming and blue teaming. So it's going to be super awesome. So if you want to know more, you can actually send us an email at CTF. Send it to CTF@hck4g.org. So support. So CTF at hackforgood.org. You can send us an email. We can actually reach out to you and tell you a little bit more about Hack for Good and the work that we're doing. So yeah, with that going, I guess now we're back from the commercial. So by the way, guys, don't forget to go to CyLynk.com to buy courses and start learning how to play CTF. But Abdul, just coming back to you, one of the things you do for work right now is digital forensics, right? And not a lot of people understand what digital forensics is. So can you explain digital forensics to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
100%. So you can think of a digital forensics analyst like a police officer, but for your computer. Right? That's literally it, right? That's literally it, right? The only difference is, right? The only difference is that in the real world, you have a cop, right? The guy
Yeah.
who investigates. And then you have a doctor who helps you out and fixes you up separately. Whereas in the cyber and enterprise world, I do both jobs. I come and investigate when someone who really shouldn't be in your network is there, and then I make you get better. And that is the incident response side of things, right? As a digital forensics analyst, what we do is after the fact, right? You've had a compromise. You might have downloaded something you shouldn't have downloaded. For some odd reason, somebody said, hey, open this OneNote, and they showed you the most ugly looking weird page, and you still thought that belonged to Microsoft, and you gave it your password and username. Somebody said, hey, look at this cute cat video, and then you downloaded an executable and you ran it for some reason, right? And then you come to us and you're like, hey, I might have done a little something. And we investigate that. And then the doctor side of us kicks in and we help make it better. We fix you up.
Cool. Nah, that's good. I don't think I could have explained that better than you did, Mike. Like, to be honest, that was absolutely that was absolutely not top notch.
That's why I think about it, right? Like something bad happens, and you come to me and you're like, well, someone did something to me. We investigate that, and then even though we investigate it, you got to clean it up a bit, do some housekeeping, get rid of the bad guy, and we help make you better.
That's awesome. So here's my follow-up question. So for someone who's starting out, like, obviously on average, I don't know how long it takes to become get into digital forensics. So for someone who's literally right now, just figuring out what cybersecurity is, and they're like, you know what, that sounds cool, being a cyber cop. Actually the guy who comes in after the effect, like the detective, like, like the, what is that very famous, crime TV show? Like, I don't know.
Order? Or CSI.
CSI. Yeah, I was gonna talk about Mr. Monk as well. Is it Monk? Is it Monk? Adrian Monk. Yeah, I was also gonna say Adrian Monk.
Yeah.
So
it's literally like CSI. It's CSI for the computer. Yeah.
Absolutely. So like for someone who's literally just like, they're like, cool, that actually sounds awesome. I would like to get in there. What would you recommend the person do first? Because I know, like, one of the key things, like I was saying before earlier, is that cyber is pretty much like an iceberg. Like, people only see the top, and there's this countless hours and hours and hours of pain, and banging your head against the wall that you often do to get to where you are, which is exactly what you've done and built a great career for yourself, and only just getting started, apparently. So how would you suggest that someone who's wanting to get into DFIR start today?
You know what? Here's a really unconventional and interesting one. And I'm going to say this with context because of how high the barrier for DFIR is, that it's like a mid-career thing. And obviously we know that like it can be a bit competitive. The field is competitive for newcomers now, especially because it's a bit of a cooler market. I think the best way that somebody could get ahead and leapfrog many of their potential peers in DFIR is to get some pen testing under their belt. And I say that in context that if somebody was a junior, right, who'd never heard of anything or done anything cyber related, and they spent, 6 months going through all of CyLynk's pen testing / red teaming paths, right? And then at the end of those 6 months, they spent 2 or 3 months learning the basics of DFIR separately. You would find that they are as capable as somebody who's been working in DFIR for 3 years, potentially even more capable, potentially even more up to date, potentially even more across some of the more, newer TTPs per se. And I say that because I, for example, personally have contributed to a lot of open source tools like RegRipper, like Kate, some of the most used forensics tools. And something I notice is that they are a bit behind. They're and this is across, if we were to look at blog posts written by Palo Alto, CrowdStrike, etc. Right? When I sit down and I see a company, $1 billion company, write about golden tickets, I kind of laugh, right? Maybe in 2015, your threat actor was using golden tickets, right? Today we have Ruby, Sapphire, right? We have diamond tickets, right? The kind where the golden ticket detection actually is used. because when the golden ticket, you're looking for, the ticket granted ticket being used without the request, right? Today, Rubius, for example, fraudulently creates that flow, right? It's very trivial, right? Rubius, for example, will query your domain controller and say, hey, what is the lifetime of your ticket? I'm not going to put the default 10 years. This is not 2016 anymore. Is your default 5 hours? Then I'm going to forge a ticket for 5 hours, right? And
thereby
and
evading defenses, right?
exactly, right? But a lot of maybe DFIR analysts who are, sat in suits or, in their corporate world, they're significantly behind. And I think if somebody was like really hungry and trying to break in, the best thing they could do themselves is getting like 6 months of pen testing at CyLynk. Literally,
basically,
that's it. They would leapfrog.
What you're saying is essentially hashtag attack informed defense, right? That's what CyLynk is all about. That we're actually a pepper teaming platform, so that's literally what I do. So and that's exactly what you've described. Is that to essentially be effective at defending threat actors, you need to really understand how threat actors actually move and act. And the one way that I know for sure there is to do that is to actually get yourself involved doing some of those things that the threat actors do. Like the example you gave. The example you gave is if you did not play with rubies, you would never have known that, the old way of detecting, ticket, granting ticket or golden ticket or pass the hash doesn't work anymore, right? And this is really, really the key here. So I guess your recommendation is that the person goes through and getting to do some pen testing. By the way, we have a course that we're currently building. It's called PICOSA. So it's Practical Certified OffSec, Associate. And that course is pretty awesome. So it goes through and teaches people a lot of this. And we're actually going to be releasing a lot of modules in that. It's going to teach you about Rubius. It's going to teach you about, Kerberos, how Kerberos actually functions and how to, bypass and attack and defend it. And we're also going to be teaching you a lot about Impacket and, and a lot of about, Mimikat. Apparently, Mimikat, Gentle Wiki refused to release Mimikat 3.0. Do you know anything about that?
Interesting. 3.0, what's new going to be there? I know the last release we had was we had we had new stuff, juicy stuff about like stealing primary refresh token in the Cloud SP module. I know we had some stuff recently about TPM, but I don't know we had a 3.0.
Oh,
also,
yeah.
I don't
that was at
use Mimikatz anymore anyways. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mimikatz.
He came up with a new version of Mimikat that is actually really, really scary. I think he showcased that in, was it I think it's RSA. I think he demonstrated that at RSA in California. Is it California that they do RSA?
Yes, San Francisco.
At San Francisco. I think he demonstrated Mimikatz 3.0 and then decided this is too bad. I'm not going to release this in public.
Yeah, not to release it. Yes. And he gave the private preview to Microsoft. Yes.
So
it's interesting you mentioned that as well, because keep in mind, right? Like Benjamin Delpy was never meant to release Mimikatz, right? Obviously, the story goes in that 2009, he was at a very major conference in Moscow, and after he was coming back to his room, he found somebody on his computer.
Yeah.
Right? And it turned out that Russian intelligence had stolen basically the source code.
The source code. Yep.
And 2 years later, he's like, this is a serious problem. I can't continue to have this program, right? Where some small segment of people have it. He's like, I guess I got to release it.
Yeah. Because let everyone, because one of the cool things that he did when he released it is that it actually gave everyone an opportunity to sort of study it and be able to defend against it, right? Whereas when it's still hidden, just like exactly what the NSA did, where they had things like Eternal Blue and whatnot. No one knew that Eternal Blue existed.
Red, yeah.
But when it became public, that was essentially how people were able to start sort of figuring out a way to patch, SMB version 1 and whatnot, and then start implementing SMB signing and all of that. So that is definitely something pretty cool. So yeah, if you're out there and wondering, how do I get into DFIR? According to the, I don't know, the liquid marshmallow. I'm sort of giving you a lot of cool names today.
A liquid marshmallow. That's an interesting one. To add on to what Abdul was actually just saying, you can apply that exact same methodology like that he explained for getting into DFIR for getting into threat hunting. Exact same thing.
Yeah. So obviously, one thing I'll probably buttress to say there is that do not skip your basics, right? I cannot tell you how many times I hear people say, I want to get into cybersecurity, and they're going to go learn to become a security engineer when they don't know how to do basic system administration. Like, seriously, where do you think you're going if you don't know how to use Linux and Windows? And this is why we've actually, gone through and written a practical CLI essential for both Windows and Linux. So those are actually available. And we have something pretty awesome. So that course is currently at $99, but we have some amazing deals coming, guys. So stay tuned for the next 3 weeks. You are going to be able to get access to those 2 courses for significantly cheaper, I tell you that. So look, I think this is a really good place to sort of I'll ask you one last question. And then, we'll probably wrap it up from there, and go into threat landscape for today, which is the segment that everyone has been waiting for. Guys, by the way, I haven't checked the comment section. Can anyone have a look at the comment section? Does anyone have any question for Abdul? I do apologize, guys. I did forget you guys. We're having way too much fun here. Is anyone there who has a question? Well, I'm guessing they're probably going to add in some questions in the comment section. So if you do have any questions for Abdul, please add that in the comment. So the one thing I kind of wanted to talk about quite specifically is I wanted to ask you about your certification journey, right? Because one of the things, we're not into competitor bashing. We absolutely respect OSCP for the work that they've done. They gave the cybersecurity community, Kali Linux, the Kali Linux that every single person uses today is actually, a property of OSCP. So it is really, really cool to sort of see the work that they've done. But I know you've been going on a certification spree at the moment over the last few months, and you are officially OSCP Plus certified, OSEP certified, and you've just done your OSDH. Threat Hunter, and then you've also done the I think you were writing an exam today, guys. He was actually writing one of the exams today for the IR today. So sort of, I guess,
IR,
how do you go from no OSCP certification 4 months ago to now having 4 of them, back to back? And I know you had an exam last weekend as well. So sort of explain that pathway for those who are listening.
I mean, the first one is money, I guess. I was fortunate enough that, I can't really beat around the bush. I was enough that my workplace got me a Learn Unlimited subscription. For those of you who may or may not know, right, in OPSEC, you are able to essentially subscribe for 12 months, and you can do an unlimited amount of certifications, right? There's no limit. If you manage to do all of them, 12 months, no one's gonna harm or hurt you back. And so that's the subscription that I got, and that's why I've been able to pursue so many of the OPSEC certifications, because I have access to them. But I guess the technical answer is that this didn't start 4 months ago, right? I got access to the OSCP for the first time in 2021, correct? And ever since then, I had been continuously doing something. For example, I've probably been doing the TJ null list from that moment, 2021, until in 2024.
Isn't there like 150 boxes in there?
Yeah. I would say that I've done about 110 of them. I haven't touched the proving ground ones.
Right.
But or I haven't touched most of the proving ground ones.
Yeah.
And so it's been coming. Right.
Yeah.
So when you see the certifications come today, that was mainly because I had the opportunity to sit them.
Yeah.
But the knowledge had been
the grind
kind of building up, right?
Yeah.
Like when I've done all the Hack the Box Pro Labs, or when I did the CRTP, or like when I'm at work and I'm engaging with my mentors, seniors. So it's kind of like the knowledge.
Do you want to give your mentor a shout out?
Yeah, Michael.
All right.
That's my mentor. He's taught me everything that I think I know in pen testing. Michael, my coworker, and my senior, he's taught me a very significant amount, and I'm very grateful. But
good.
That is how these
shout out to you, Michael.
Right?
Yeah. Look, if you're there sitting down and wondering, I thought this guy knew everything and he still has a mentor and a coach. How is that even possible? I thought he knew it all. Well, it turns out that if you want to go far, you need someone who's been there to sort of help guide you. So at CyLynk, we've actually created something quite unique. No one else has this in the industry. It's called the Job Ready Track. So the Job Ready Track is essentially where we promise you a job guarantee, 100% job guarantee, or we give you back your money. And what we do is we don't just give you a bunch of books to go and read, because what we're finding in the industry is that content is not the problem. There's content everywhere. The problem is that people are not actually able to know the right sort of content to study, the right time to study it, and really making sure that someone is there sort of keeping them accountable. So this is why, as part of our Job Ready Tracks, when you sign up for that, we would actually, align you or assign you a cybersecurity coach. So someone who's been in the game, done what you want to do, and they will essentially work with you all through your journey to ensure that you land a job. And we also have our partner employers who essentially help you. Once you actually finish the program, the intensive program that goes for either 6 months, 1 year, or 1.5 years, depending on your experience level. And by the way, guys, this is a select entry program. So if you want to join this, go to CyLynk.com and click on the Job Ready Tracks and then find the one that is most appropriate to you. We have the Cyber Ninja, which is the most appropriate one for those who are beginning. So you will learn everything from Python, you learn how to program, to Linux, to Windows, and you will also learn threat hunting and everything that is required for you to be able to get a job either in IT or in cybersecurity, depending on your expertise and how long you're doing it for. So yeah, shout out to Michael. Once again, we're going to give him a clap. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you want to get ahead in cybersecurity and get an edge, CyLynk is the place to be. Look, guys, I do apologize for doing a bit of marketing, or perhaps I'm not actually apologizing. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. That is how we pay. We pay for the noodles, right? That's how we pay for the liquid, slimy, ramen noodles. Isn't that true, Nathan?
Yeah, the flaming hot ones that we eat frozen.
Yeah. So we do have a question in the comment section. So is that a question or right? So this is from Christiana Olusegun. I have just passed the EJPT exam, although I'm a blue teamer and I would like to be versatile. That's why I studied for it, got confident and did the exam. However, I want to have more hands-on experience. Well, Christiana, well done. Great job. You did a great job. By the way, you guys cannot hear this, but I'm actually doing a sound thing going there. You've done an incredible job. What you do need is hands-on skill and also someone to sort of guide you. Obviously, depending on what part of the world you're in, you can obviously reach out to our team at CyLynk. We can help sort of navigate you through gaining more hands-on technical experience. And this is one of the cool things about our platform is that it's actually job ready first. So gamification and having fun comes last. The first thing is making sure that you're actually ready for a job. And this is exactly what you're seeing, where you've done the EJPT and you're still finding that you don't quite have that confidence. Again, this is not a thing about the EJPT. I'm not having to go at the EJPT. Great exam, by the way. It is just that doesn't quite give you the knowledge that you need to be able to stand out, and gain an edge. And this is where CyLynk comes in. But Abdul, how would you answer that question aside from me rambling on and trying to go to market?
I think that's really awesome. Like that the fact that they have that mindset actually already puts them ahead of most blue teamers, right? You'd be like, the majority of blue teamers that I know had never once looked inside Metasploit, and if I'm not mistaken, that's some of the things that the EJPT covers and expects you to do, right? So it's hats off to you for going through with that. I think that obviously like CyLynk has very affordable, awesome stuff. Hack the Box is another one where
absolutely
has really affordable, awesome stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where you can learn an incredible amount. You can become, dare I say, an expert hacker.
Does that word even exist? Does that word even exist? Expert hacker.
Like if you do the CPTS, CAPE, CWEE, I'm pretty sure my company would make you the lead pen tester if you manage to do 3 of those.
Well, guys, if you're looking for how to get into Gridware, now you just learned the secret. Only at NerdKnight episode 54, guys. This is where the real insights happen, right? The tips and the tricks and the awesome, noodles. Well, Nathan, are you going to help me complete this or what? Are you going to leave me out here to dry, mate? I thought we were mates.
Wet noodles.
Oh, yes. That's it. That is it. All right, cool. So thanks so much, everyone. Can you please give it up for Abdul for joining us today and for answering those questions? Abdul, hang around. We've got some pretty awesome things. There's something we want to show you. It is actually really cool. So hopefully everyone can sort of hang around for that. How long have we been going for? I think we've only been going for how long? I don't know, but hopefully we can sort of, for just an hour. Yeah, we just started. What are you talking about? The show just began, people. It is all going to be fun. All right, cool. Okay, so the next segment, in case you're wondering, is what? Where's the hand clap? I hope the music don't come up again, to be honest. Oh, it did.
Is it the segment where Sammy gives us another one of those sneak peeks to his latest song?
Dude, this is my freestyle. Threat landscape in the building. Linux, malware, delivering everywhere. We do it. I lost it there, guys. I lost it there, guys. Wait, hang on. I think we may have a bit of an issue here. So, okay, give me a second. Let me put this up. So we'll let that music finish, and then we do this. We've got a bit of problem here. I had a bit of a technical issue where the actual slide is disappeared on me. Interesting.
Oh, we don't need slides to be productive.
Wait. Not sure what happened here, to be honest. Okay, so what we're going to talk about, I'm just going to skip that for a second, guys. Just give me a tiny bit of a second, and I'll sort out the issue really quickly, so you guys can see. So this article is actually supposed to go to this. Yes, so I'm going to do it anyway, so everyone can sort of see. Can everyone see my screen? I don't think those online can see it, so I'm just going to put it up here for them to see.
I can see your phone.
You reckon that is my phone?
Is that your phone?
No, it's not. Well, so guys, Threat Landscape is one of those segments where we basically just dive in, really deep into the interweb, and we're trying to figure out what on earth is going out there. Welcome to the show, fame. You are definitely not late, mate. We just began, but you definitely did miss a lot. You missed out, cool, like all the awesome things, but never mind. It is recorded, so you can obviously go and rewatch, the awesome segments that we've already had. And you can also learn a lot from Abdul. So Abdul, thanks so much once again for coming to NerdKnight and for giving back to the community, mate. You are an absolute legend, and you're definitely someone to be emulated. So yeah, you are an awesome dude. All right, so this one is an interesting one. So for those who have been in cybersecurity for a while, you would know that one of the the things about WhatsApp is that it's technically supposed to have end-to-end encryption, and it's using essentially some sort of a peer-to-peer encryption where you have your private key on the device, and then you only use your public key to share your message. When you send someone a message, you use the public key to encrypt it, and then you guys basically just exchange. I don't want to go into the technical details. Leave me alone, people. But anyways, it's supposed to be secure. Nathan, what do you want to say?
This is the threat landscape. This is where you go into the technical difficulties. Like,
well, I'm fine.
Avoid that.
Fine, I'm gonna go into it. So it's supposed to use a public key to essentially encrypt the message and then send it to you. So the sender encrypts the message with their own public key and also encrypts it in a double encryption. Also encrypts it with your public key. And then they send a message to you. You receive the message, and then you decrypt it with their public, with their public key that right? And then use your private key to decrypt your own message, right? So this is essentially how asymmetric encryption works. In case you're wondering, Nathan, are you happy now?
I'm very happy, very satisfied.
Well, so basically what happened here is that WhatsApp is known for this, and basically what's been happening over the last 5 years or so is that Israel allegedly has figured out a way to essentially carry out, WhatsApp attacks against, key individuals without being detected. So this is a bit of an interesting one, right? Because what it essentially is showing is that for some reason, threat actors are able to sort of bypass that encryption, and even to the point of making the user, be exploited without them ever having to click on anything. And this is an example of it. So some of those well-known, known cases is when, the Israeli NSO group, essentially created the Pegasus, malware, that essentially basically, exploited a lot of phones, essentially found a way to exploit people's phones without them ever having to click on anything. So it was remotely detonated as well. And they targeted mostly people that were, of interest to the allegedly to the Israeli government, right? So something similar to that has also happened quite recently as well, where there's this organization in America who's essentially sold some software to the U.S. government to be used in the border forces. But anyway, guys, I do not want to have to wear my thin hat, foil today. Today is not a conspiracy theory day. I'm going to stick to the show. All right. WhatsApp has addressed a security vulnerability in its messaging app for Apple iOS and macOS that it said may have been exploited in the wild in conjunction with the recently disclosed Apple flaw in targeted zero-day attacks, right? The vulnerability is CVE 2025-55177. So if those who are new to this, CVE stands for Common Vulnerability Exposure. And then this code here, obviously, you can see that this tells you what year it is, and then that is telling you what number it's been assigned based on how many vulnerabilities that have been detected. So I'm not quite sure if this is a count of the vulnerabilities detected for that year or in general. The whole time that NIST started doing the CVE program. It sounds very, very weird that it's since NIST started the vulnerability program. Surely there's been more than 55,000 vulnerabilities since this started. Abdul, do you know what that second number?
The numbers are not linear. I have a CVE and I don't believe the number.
Right. So it's probably some arbitrary, ID that's given to it without it connecting to anything. Right. Okay.
It's not linear, yes.
I'm like, surely we've had more than 55,000 vulnerabilities since this game started.
Generated number. You randomly generate. The only non-random is the year.
Yep.
Excuse me. Everything else is random.
Cool. There we go. So thanks so much, Abdul. It's still teaching us, right? And this is what we learn. This is how NerdKnight happens. You learn, you hack, you defend, and you laugh, right? Those are the 5 combinations that you need to be able to have fun at NerdKnight. So basically here, obviously, this particular vulnerability has a CVSS score of 8.0. For those who do not know, that essentially means that it's a high vulnerability in terms of the scoring rating. And CVSS stands for Common Vulnerability Scoring System, right? And it relates to a case of insufficient authorization of linked devices synchronization, linked devices synchronization messages, right? So essentially, it's basically attacking that aspect of WhatsApp, I think this is mostly for WhatsApp specifically. This is not even the Apple flaw in general. So this is essentially attacking that authentication mechanism that I described initially. So internal researchers on the WhatsApp security team have been credited with discovering and rewriting the bug. The Meta-owned company said the issue could have allowed an unrelated user to trigger processing of content from an arbitrary URL on a target device. So that's essentially, I guess, what you would call remote code execution. I don't know if that would fall within the realms of remote code execution. The flaw affects the following, WhatsApp version 2.25. By the way, if you want to know what version of WhatsApp you're running, click on your user in name, and then go to settings, and then you can obviously go to about, and you can find out what version you're running. So if you're running any of these versions, and you're running the iOS version that is also in here as well, it means that you're potentially vulnerable to this, and threat actors could essentially be trying to get in. This is probably more of a problem for those who are of interest to the government. For some people like you and I, we're probably of no use to the government, right? We have nothing to give.
I don't know. I think someone like me might be interested in something like this. Like if I wanted to coerce you into liking coffee, like real coffee over instant coffee, I could just use this vulnerability, get into your device, and then spray coffee all over your phone.
I am going to resist the temptation. Get behind me, devil. Get behind me. Well, So basically, what is going on here is that for some reason, this particular vulnerability in WhatsApp can be chained with another vulnerability in the iOS, operating system. I'm not sure what's going on there. And that is essentially how threat actors are able to execute a zero-click, exploit in WhatsApp. So what this means is that you as a user, you don't have to be sent a malicious link. You don't even have to click on the malicious link. So literally, unbeknownst to you, you have no idea that you've actually been compromised. And this is exactly what some sophisticated threat actors have been able to do. So yeah, this is definitely an interesting one. Look, I think Abdul, what do you reckon about this? Have you heard about any of those things that that allegedly the Israeli Assad groups have done in the past?
Yeah, 100%. I guess there's the new company as well, not the NSA, not the NSO group, the company that was founded by the former prime minister. And it's actually being caught up in a major scandal in Italy because it turns out that the Italian government had deployed it against 2 Italian journalists. So,
I think that might be the Paragon. Is it Paragon Solutions?
Paragon, that is correct. Yes. So that's why when you said tinfoil hat, I was like, the European Commission might not call that a conspiracy theory anymore.
Well, I don't want to get in trouble, guys. I'm just the guy. Like, I'm the messenger, guys. Please, I'm just a messenger.
Great,
Like,
exploits are insane. I mean, if you remember, the prince, he's now the king of Saudi Arabia, sent a link to Jeff Bezos and compromised Jeff Bezos' phone using a zero-click exploit.
Oh boy.
Oh, jeez. Seriously.
You don't have to interact with the message. The moment it comes through, it just executes on your side. It's
literally
insane.
in memory, right there. Like, it's scary. Like, so scary. Like, you know what? Really, sometimes, again, fine. I'm gonna put the thin hat up for thin hat,
Tinfoil?
whatever. What thin foil hat on? Okay. Well, so the key thing here is that you and I have no idea what software, the ASIO in Australia, the NSA in the US, or whatever other intelligence group, Interpol, we have no idea what software they have. So, and a lot of them are potentially 0 days that you and I do not know, that no matter how hard you try to detect it, you cannot detect it because it doesn't even exist as far as we're concerned. Right.
100%.
So, and what I think I was talking about this with someone recently, and I said to them, the only thing you can pray and hope for is that you want to have multiple layers of defense, right? You don't want to hope and wait for that, one initial entry point or initial access vector. You want to look for things like, code execution, lateral movement. You want to look for those other further down the lane kill chains to be able to detect malicious activity. But as long as it has to do with initial access, just forget about it. Because if someone wants to get in, if someone really wants to get in, they're probably going to get. They're going to walk in through the front door, and you'll be like, I'm pretty sure this is not your home. Nathan, what do you reckon about that?
I'm actually not sure. I'm actually just thinking about how I'm going to spread coffee across the world and
seriously,
continue on with my malicious campaign.
I refuse to bite. Abdul, what do you reckon about that?
I mean, if you think about it, right? It's interesting you mentioned, because you mentioned a lot of Western agencies, right? And it's important to remember that whatever we have, the adversary has, right? So it's almost like it's almost like, actually it's not almost like, it is that we're all we are holding shadow cyber equivalents of nuclear weapons against each other. The only difference is that with nuclear weapons, we have agreements where we can fly over each other's country, right? There's the Skies Treaty that says that America and Russia can fly over each other's countries to, take satellite imagery and to account for each other's nuclear weapons, right? But who's coming to my computer and seeing if I hold, the next 0 day for Fortinet, or if I'm holding a 0 day for always route installed in NATO countries and all sorts of different, states and groupings, right? And it's scarier a bit than nuclear weapons, because with nuclear weapons we have entire frameworks, right? No, if you think about it, we have entire organizations. There's thousands of people in the world whose job it is to make sure that every nuclear weapon is accounted for, every catastrophic causing device is accounted, locked down, and pinned down. What about computers? Right, like if you think about Eternal Blue that caused more than $500 million damage.
Yeah.
Not Petya that shut down Kiev, right? That it was used in even more recently in
pretty much
Russia's
shut down
invasion,
Kiev. That's
right?
the best way to describe it. Look,
yeah, right.
it's safe to say that the conspiracy theory is on and alive at NerdKnight 54. Look, Abdul, I don't want to hold you any longer that you want to stay. Like, I know this was supposed to be a 1 hour stream, but we end up often going. The show is too good, right? So look, if you wanna, do you wanna continue on, or you want to maybe bow out?
It might have to be a night for today.
Yeah, good, dude. Like, before you go, look, I want to quickly shout out to you, mate, for for the work that you've done, and for the work that you're continuing to do, for supporting the CyLynk platform, and really genuinely just being an all-out awesome guy, right? You are officially
really
part of you're officially part of the liquid potato, or the mashed potato family, mate.
Ooh.
I feel like the naming keeps changing every time, but I'm for it, eh?
So look, mate, I'm so great that you could join us today. So thank you very much.
I really appreciate it. I had an amazing time.
Yeah, we would love to have you again sometime soon as well. Like,
Hopefully.
we would actually like to have you show us something. Like, it could be, volatility or chainsaw. Like,
I'd love to.
you could actually do an actual demo, right? So just keep us posted. Look, we'll give you a clap out. Let's give you a clap out so that everyone knows that you've done an incredible work.
Thank you guys.
So, wait, is it playing? Yeah, I think it's playing. Mate,
Thank you,
you're
guys.
awesome, mate. You're awesome.
It's an
Thank you
absolute
so much
honor
for
and
coming.
pleasure. Thank you for having me today. And
Nah,
I
it's
hope
so
everyone else enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the night as well.
Yeah, shout out to Abdul in the
Absolutely.
comment section. Obviously, everyone, if you've been part of this fun, you would know that Abdul absolutely brought the punch. Like, he was going like crazy. Like, the dude was on fire, right? That's the word. That's the best way to describe it. Nah, it's good stuff, mate. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a great night, everyone.
See you,
Good
mate.
night,
Have
mate.
fun.
Cheers.
Bye.
The only problem is that you're now leaving Nathan and I here. This might get really weird very quickly.
Enjoy, guys. Bye.
See you, mate. Have a good one. Bye. Cheers. Nathan, mate, what do you reckon about this, right? Like, I think one of the cool thing, like, I'm seeing is that everyone is kind of seeing some of the covert, operations that a lot of government operations are, government entities kind of get themselves entangled into. And often, like, eventually kind of, someone leaks it, like the NSA, leak. Like, it often comes out to the light. But I guess for an organization who's wanting to sort of, defend themselves against this sort of attack, what would you recommend?
What would I recommend?
Yeah.
That is a good question. Find out what these exploits are. Go and test them out in, a virtual environment. You can go and collect the logs. Watch what the attacks look like in the logs, and then go and write detection rules for them. Why not?
All right.
Is that good enough?
Well, we'll leave it there because we need to move on. So, look, do you wanna read the next one yourself, or do you wanna actually? I'll just share so you can read from there, and then I'll be your mouse. I will be your mouse, Nathan.
You
Oh,
will
seriously.
be my mouse. Yeah, I'm trying to sing with you.
I told you guys this might get weird very quickly. So I'm trying to find, my laptop so I can actually, use this thing. Oh, seriously. I think that works
mate.
now.
Just share the screen, or at least on the article, and I'll just read it.
All right, just give me a second. I need to find where the mouse goes. All right, so the second one, which by the way is not about Interpol. For some reason, it did not update. So let's see what the actual article is. Oh, this is security by obfuscation. It is officially security by obfuscation. So Nathan, do you want to?
Yeah.
By the way, for those who want to obviously contribute in the chat, what did you guys think about the the WhatsApp situation? Do you guys think that for real that the Israeli government is using WhatsApp zero click to go after their not so friendly neighbors or people that they want to go after? Add that in the comment section. You might have to anonymize it, maybe base 64 encoded, so they can't trace it back to you. But Nathan, what do you have for us today?
Mate, I would be absolutely sure that Israel would be using it without a doubt.
Okay, fine. You did not hear it first at NerdKnight. This has been public, open to the public for a while now. So this is not the first time you're hearing it. But it is still allegedly, right? To avoid being said, oh, CyLynk said there is blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Nathan, what are you sharing with us today for Threat Landscape?
What am I? Oh, yeah. So this article says security researchers find VS Code flaw, allowing attackers to republish deleted extensions under the same names. I don't really need to go into the technical details of this because the title says it all. So yeah, if you read further into the article,
yeah,
the security
absolutely.
researcher from I think it's Reversing Labs, he goes on, talks about that. In the past, threat actors have uploaded different malicious extensions like I don't know how to say that, RBAN C shipper. It's pretty much the same name, but they all have like A, B, C, this and that or whatever. You go on a little bit further and you find that threat actors have, deleted those extensions, but then they've come back later and then they've re-uploaded, a completely different malware sample under the exact same name, and then they've gotten people to unknowingly download something that they thought was legitimate, but it was contained with malware, which is fun. I mean, now you know that the next stage to my malicious coffee campaign, how I'm going to spread coffee across the world.
Yes, absolutely. It might actually be a worm self-propagating coffee. Seriously. Look, guys, if you guys know that if you guys are in support of Nathan baiting me to buy his coffee, banter, if you guys have, if you have a pity on me, if you're having pity on me, let me know in the comment section. Because I've been trying to resist this temptation for a while now, and I don't want to give in. So, mate, let's continue on with Threat Landscape.
Yeah, all right. So, according to the VS Studio code documentation, the name field specifies in the extension the manifest should be all lowercase with no spaces, so that's actually that's the name. So the name should be all lowercase and contain no spaces, and it must be unique in the marketplace. So someone like a security researcher asks, okay, so if that's the case, how did these malicious extensions end up having the same name despite the official documentation like rules saying that they have to be unique and follow these certain set of rules? So he asked this question. It goes on to say, who ultimately found that it is possible to do so once the extension is removed from the repository, but this behavior doesn't apply to scenarios where the author unpublishes an extension. Did that make any sense?
Yeah. So basically, if you uninstall it, it doesn't work. Like, it'll still work. But if you unpublish it, so it's one thing to essentially install an extension as the person who's like the end user, right? But if you are the author of that extension and you unpublish it, that essentially means that it's no longer in the marketplace in VS Code. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's essentially what they're saying. So if it's unpublished by the author, the original author, it's no longer valid.
Yeah, okay. I was just reading through the article and thinking, like, I don't know if that made sense to my brain. Thank goodness you're here.
Right, always saving, always here to rescue. I guess that's my job.
Thank you, good sir.
You're welcome.
The article. So you know what's interesting about this article is that the Python package manager also actually has a very similar feature to VS Code in that all the names have to be unique and whatever to publish a package, and that if you unpublish it, you can still reuse the same package name. But they have So the Python package manager has an extra feature where you can not allow other developers to reuse the same name if it was used by malware in the past.
Oh, right. So it's basically like a blacklist type thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Cool. That's awesome. So, guys, if you're out there and you do a bit of dev and you use VS Code, one rule of thumb one rule of thumb that I actually always tell people is that, like, if you're going to download an extension, like, at least just do some research before you click on install. Do some research and understand who created the extension and what purpose it's aiming to serve. And one of the dodges thing that threat actors have actually learned to do is that, like, you could have like an extension for Python that is from the original, like creators of Python, like from Python, .org, or you could have someone else who's essentially have a package that also says it's Python, but it's from, I don't know, from Sammy Chucks, from, from Accra, Ghana. And you're like, so if you're not suspicious and, if you're not paying attention enough, you might actually inadvertently install the package that actually says Python, but it's not actually from the original, package creator. And this is essentially how you can get yourself infected. Nathan, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong.
You go.
I was going to say, I believe that Visual Studio Code actually runs in a sandbox environment of its own.
Partially.
Well, yeah, obviously, because you can still import files and folders into it, right? So there's a free flow pathway for malware to sort of escape.
Yeah. I don't think it's like it's not the same kind of sandbox that you get with the browser or that you get with the VM.
Right. Okay. Different kind of sandbox. So
yeah.
What else do you have in this article?
So PyPy carves out an exception where the PyPy package name, that sounds so weird to say, can be made unavailable if they were first used by malicious packages. It appears that Visual Studio Code does not have a similar restriction to prevent the reuse of names of malicious extensions, which is actually kind of scary. So the development, as observed in a leaked Blackbuster chat log, shows how threat actors are looking at poisoning open source registries with ransomware libraries that demand ransoms from unsuspecting victims who may install them. This makes it more crucial for organizations and developers who adopt secure development practices and proactively monitor these ecosystems to software supply chain threats. The discovery of the loophole exposes a new threat that the name of any removed extension can be reused by anyone, ... said some random guy called Valantic.
Yeah, I have no idea. Where's his last name? Is Valantic a guy that doesn't have a last name? Valantic, man, you need to come explain yourself. Do you not have a last name? Do you think you're better than us?
He's better. That's absolutely right. I was actually thinking about while reading this, when you go into the extensions in VS Code, there's like a blue circle that says whether it's been like officially verified, whether the package is legit by, the actual VS Code developers, which, you could use to, potentially, I don't know, like maybe somewhat
Like
better
additional
verify
level of, yeah.
you're actually downloading something legit. But I actually wonder if you were to unpublish your package and then someone was to come and replace it with their own malicious version. If you had your package officially verified by VS Code, does that blue circle still remain?
That is a good question. That is the age-old question. I think we need to dig into that. You want to let me quickly Google it.
Because that sounds kind of scary now that I think about it.
If I can actually spell.
You could do it. you'll spell better if we cheer you on.
Oh, wait, that should be an extension. Well, I guess OX security could tell us a little bit about that. So, can you trust the that verified symbol? Exploiting IDE extension is easier than I should be. It should be. Why? Okay, apparently someone from OX security thinks that it's not actually, a fail proof way to stay safe. Right.
Sounds concerning.
Yeah. So integrated IDE, well, yep, VS Code, whatnot. Integrated environment IDEs play a major role in today's programming landscape. They provide comprehensive environment in which programmers can write, test, and debug code efficiently. However, OX research conducted in May and June 2025, quite recently, reviews critical security vulnerabilities in how popular IDE handle extension verification. IDE is typically, which is essentially integrated development environment here, in case you're wondering. So IDEs typically include basic built-in functionality, but their capabilities extend through a wide range of third-party extensions available on marketplaces and external websites. This means that any risk in the IDE could result in a far-reaching consequence, right? So this is exactly what Nathan was talking about. To test our theory, the OS research team created malicious extension on 3 of the most popular IDEs: Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, and Intelli IDE, blah, blah. Technical investigation. So let's see. What about the blue tick? Exploitation method. Yep, that's easy. Extension to other platforms. Yes. So, Kusa. All right. Security recommendation: do not rely solely on verified badge as a measure of trust. Install extension directly from official marketplace rather than through VSIX extension files shared online. Well, duh. Why would you use an extension file to install an extension? You're asking for it. Seriously. Anyways, I don't want to go too deep into this, but yes, that is potentially an issue where that we need to find out. I'll probably look. Oh, wait a minute. It actually has a green tick here, and
Yeah,
this is
so
exactly that's the malicious one that they just built.
Oh, that's concerning.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to validate that later. So, which, like you can see here, so despite differences in file structures and verification mechanism across these platforms, we identified the requests used for verification and located the relevant values within the extensions. We successfully created extensions that maintained their verified status by modifying this. Oh my goodness. Yep. There you have it, Nathan.
Yeah, okay.
There you have it. So, yes, the green tick can officially be stolen. So you cannot trust that either. I guess the one very sure solution is to not download any extension going forward, I guess. just write your own code, but right? Just write it from,
or just use a different IDE.
I guess, yeah, like something like Sublime Text, which is essentially akin to writing your own code, really. Oh, seriously. Now, this is a really good one, Nathan. This is really, really good. Look, just to ensure that we don't go overboard, let's use the last few minutes to actually go into the segment of the century, what everyone is waiting for here. Guys, please, we definitely do not want to make Nerd Night a captive audience. So if you're out there and you are wanting to contribute to this, definitely feel free to put your comment add your contribution in the comment section, and we would read it out loud, and we would actually give you a shout out as well. So yeah, you are not a captive audience. You are part of the Nerd Night show. So definitely put in your dad jokes, your memes, your contribution in there, and we would actually shout you out for it as well. So just to ensure that you are part of the show and you're part of the event, we want to see you contributing as well. All right. So Nathan, you stumbled on something amazing earlier this week.
It was truly amazing. It's a quiz that tries to ask you or test you on how much you think you know email, or at least know about email, or what an email address is.
Yeah. And so how much do you know about email?
That's a good question.
If Alex was here, Alex would be like, wow, wow, wow. That's the question. This question of the century, right? So I reckon we need to find out.
Do you need me to paste the link in, or do you have it?
Yeah, you actually paste it in the comment section. Actually, put the link in YouTube so that everyone can see it. So, guys, we want everyone to be part of this show, this game. This is really, really cool. So, if you thought you understood email, think again. If you thought you understand or know how email structures work, think again. If you thought you know how to pre-build detections as a threat detection engineer who can build detection to detect malicious activity, I would encourage you to think again. And at NerdKnight, episode 54, we are going to unpack and show you guys the awesomeness that is email.
All right, mate. It's in the chat. Go ahead and share.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, I'll just close off a bit of this so we can get a clean, beautiful slate. Right. So, email is easy. Everyone knows what an email address is, right?
Well, I hope
Right.
so.
Right. Decide if each email
Do
address is
we-
valid or not.
I don't know if I know what an email address is.
Well, I have no idea in myself.
It's asking us the question like as if we don't know what it is. So maybe we actually don't know what it is.
Well, I thought I knew what email address was until I read this, and I remember that it literally basically just told me that I was a noob, right? So, guys, if you want to participate in this, definitely go ahead and start the quiz. So, decide if each email address is valid or not. I use the email addresses library to verify against the relevant RFCs. So, for those who are new to cybersecurity, whenever you see the word RFC, it often refers to request for comment. So request for comment is essentially how cybersecurity, bodies used to seek for feedback, and they used to, get people to sort of, provide, feedback to their paper their research that they've done, and it's also a really good way to sort of track what that research is, so that those in the future can sort of, go and identify it and find it. So RFCs. For email, there's actually two of them. So we're going to read that, and we're going to find out if we truly know what email is. So, guys, we actually want to do this with you in the comment section. So I'm going to spend a fair bit of time, and I'm going to ask you. We're going to ask you guys if you know what the answer is, right? For those ones that are a bit tricky. So let's start. Question 1 of 21, right? Is this a valid email address? easy@example.com. Nathan, what do you reckon? Valid or not valid?
I feel like this is like a reverse psychology question. It's giving you like an email address that looks like it's a valid email address, but I'm sort of thinking, is it actually fake? Is it actually invalid? Is there something we can't see in this?
No, like that's why I highlighted it. There's no hidden text. So like it looks valid to me. I'm quite happy to sort of like, it's the first one. Surely it's not going to try to trick us for the very first one, right? It is to ease us into it.
We have to choose invalid.
Seriously, I don't think anyone would literally look at this and think that it's invalid, Nathan. Like, do you want YouTube to laugh at us?
I do.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna make an executive decision because I'm the boss.
Oh, all right then.
Jeez, seriously. I'm gonna choose valid. Look at that. I told you. You almost made us a laughing stock, Nathan. You almost made us a laughing stock.
Yeah.
No tricks here, just easing you into it. I knew it. I knew that the first question is probably going to be easing us into it. All right. Guys, in the comment section, what did you guys think? Did you think valid? Oh, Fame said valid. Yes, absolutely, mate. Well done. You got it right. All right, next question. Question 2 of 21. Easy plus tag@example.com. Andre, what do you think about this one? We'll give you a minute because of the delay. And also anyone, what do you think? Like, what does a plus and tag even mean? Like, seriously. Like, look at that. That definitely doesn't look right.
I think it's just, regular characters. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, you think so? Like, I would think that, like the plus sign is a special character in email. Like that should definitely not work because, the @ symbol is a special character that means something, right? Like it should not work. This should definitely not work.
but the @ symbol is a special character, and it's
and it works, duh.
and it does work. So maybe the plus sign will work.
I guess that's an interesting thing. Like this is where is ChatGPT when we need ChatGPT? This is where you need ChatGPT to come answer the question, right? And ChatGPT is disappointing me right now. All right, look, Fame did valid twice. I think we'll go with Fame. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Let's give it up for Fame, mate. You absolutely smashed it, mate. You smashed it out of the park. Where's that clapping hand?
I think Fame just became famous.
Yes. Oh, that is perfect, Nathan. Fame, did you hear that? Fame just became famous. This is your YouTube, your 1 second of fame on YouTube. Well, Andre, I'm sure you're going to get it next time. So why is this even a valid email? Well, the plus symbol is allowed. And email servers often treat it especially by ignoring anything after it. Very useful, right? So it essentially means that whenever you see the plus symbol and then any other text after it, it means that this would actually be ignored by the email server. So, Nathan, where do you often see this being used?
Well, I know we were talking about threat actors using this the other day, but I actually forgot.
Well, I'll help you out. So typically, and you guys learned this first from NerdKnight. So when you're trying to, go to one of those, like you want to register for something dodgy, like maybe you want to, go do a quote comparison for your home insurance or your car insurance that you don't necessarily want to buy immediately, and you just want to essentially just do it, and you don't want them to essentially have your email, or at least if they do have it, you want to know who's selling your data, right? Because one of the biggest things at the moment online is that, like, organizations often sell people's data to the highest bidder. So by adding the plus sign and the name of the place where you added this email. So in this case, let's say you are wanting to, buy something, and you add the name of the organization here plus their name. It means that when you get the email, you know that this is from this email was first used in that organization. So it's really useful for reconnaissance and information gathering, right? To know who's selling your data and where your email is being used. So that's one way to use it. Do not use this against CyLynk, people, because I am not going to. I can tell you that I often look at it and I often just delete it, and I'm like, yeah, nah. I know, I see what you're doing here. Delete, send it to the actual email. So yes, catch 22. I know how this works. All right, next question. Let's see. What is that next question? Oh my goodness. Question 3, easy at nothing. Like, surely, Fame, what do you reckon about this one? What do you think? Surely easy at nothing doesn't mean anything. That would not work. Like, I could bet money on this. Like, where is it sending it to? Where is the server?
How are you going to send it?
I know,
there's no
like,
destination.
This one makes no sense whatsoever.
It's invalid.
Yeah, I would say it's invalid. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't work. Internal Stranger, are you still there? Are you still watching? Do you think this is valid or invalid? It's like, go or no go. Yeah, I do agree. Nah. Wait, I almost clicked the valid. Wait. Ah, look at that. This is invalid. Can't have an email address without a domain. Yes. It's like someone sending you mail, or maybe you guys decide to send us steak, right? And then we don't give you our address. Like, that's not going to go. It's not, it's not actually going to be delivered. The mail guy might actually get a free steak for once. All right, next question. So this is the opposite of the other one. Nothing at a domain name. So Internet Stranger thinks that this is invalid. Okay, that's interesting.
I don't think nothing can send something to something.
That's exactly that. I think that's the same logic, I guess. So Nathan, you reckon this is also invalid as well?
Yep.
All right, let's see. Ah, yes, this is invalid. Woohoo! Well done, Internal Stranger. Let's give you that hand clap, mate. You knocked it out of the park, mate. Well, you came late to the party, but you eventually did it. All right, so let's go to the next question. Easy at example. This one is a good one. This one, I actually want people from the comment section to actually comment on this. So guys, do you think this is a valid email or not? Easy at example that doesn't have a fully qualified domain name. Like, do you think that will actually get sent out?
What if the name of my server was example?
Well, like, seriously. Oh, Fame thinks it's valid. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Thinks it's not valid. All right, that's interesting. Who else thinks this is valid or invalid?
I think this is valid because for example could just be localhost.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, let's go. Let's check it out. Ah, yes. This is technically valid but considered obsolete. RFC 822 allows domains without dots, but RFC 2822 made this obsolete. Go figure.
Why?
Seriously. Why? Like, seriously, these two things contradict each other. But like, Nathan, I think you and I were talking about this one, right? Is that, you could technically send an email to your local host, right?
Yep.
That's the thing here. Anyways, let's take a look at another question. Guys, we're only going to do 4 more of this, and I recommend that you guys go and complete the rest. So that you can.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. I highly recommend.
It is worth it. Like, it is absolutely 100% worth it. We don't want to have a mega nerd night. For those who know what I'm talking about, a mega nerd night is a nerd night that goes over 3 hours. So we want to stick to a normal nerd night 2 hours. So what about spaces? Interesting. Like, I don't think this would work. Like, how is it actually going to send the email? Like, guys, what do you think? Fame thinks it's valid. Okay, that's interesting. Like, I'm not going to ask you to tell us why you think it's valid, but it'd be good to know what your thinking is.
I was sort of thinking because the computer sees numbers for those ASCII characters.
Yeah.
The ASCII characters is just how it's rendered for us. So technically, the computer would see like a bunch of 20s in with the hexadecimal notation in place of where all those spaces are. So it's just another number.
So it could technically just be an actual normal email address, right?
Yeah, with spaces.
Yeah, so if you replaces it with an actual number, right, it'll just think, oh, I guess you actually have a space in your email. Interesting.
Yeah, because technically a space, although it looks like nothing, isn't actually nothing.
Yeah, because nothing is nothing in computers, right?
Yeah, that made so much sense.
Everyone thinks it's invalid, right? Only Fame thinks it's valid. Or maybe Fame is referring to a different one. Maybe that might be delayed. I guess, do we go with invalid or valid? What do we do, guys?
Try invalid. They've got the majority of the vote.
All right, majority of the vote. Invalid has it. Gone. Oh, that is nice. Well done, Nintendo Stranger. And oh, that's cool. Spaces aren't allowed between words. I'll be using the space character to make spaces obvious, right? So interesting. Cool. So it's basically is that an underscore? Yeah, seriously. Yeah. So basically, what they're saying, if you're trying to create an email that you want it to appear as though it has a space, use the underscore symbol to actually create it. So you don't end up having an invalid email sent message. Okay. What about if the space is at the beginning of the email, or is this an underscore? What if there's a dash? And what if there's a space before the @ symbol?
Right. I use dashes all the time. I don't think that matters.
Right. Okay. So you think dashes are fine in general? Nathan?
I think dashes are fine. Yeah.
Okay. What about like this is literally doing my head in.
Well, so I think because the red lines are under the spaces, the thing we're focusing on is the spaces. So
yeah.
I think potentially those spaces are invalid, but the email client is probably going to strip out the trailing white spaces anyway, so it's not going to matter.
Yeah, this one. So this one is going to be stripped out, but this one in here probably not. Guys,
I mean,
keep that
before
vote
it said
coming. Keep that
spaces-
vote coming.
Before it says spaces aren't allowed, so if we go by the same logic, then it's invalid.
Oh, seriously. Well, we can try it out. Why not? Why not? Oh, I just remembered, Nathan, we need to make sure we have our outro music today ready to go. Because last time we did not have our outro music. So let me make sure we've got that ready. Where is that one you sent me? Was it this one? Was this the cowboy one? I don't want the cowboy music.
Do you want the go for the one called Higher?
You reckon?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Where is it? Guys, if you're wondering where we got these songs from, we got them from from atlas.io. So shout out to atlas.io. We definitely are not claiming rights over this song. Nathan and I are still amateur artists. We're still trying to figure out how to.
I chose the one called Higher because I feel like it's the best one for you to rap to.
Oh, seriously, there was a gang. Listen, I'm being ganged up against. Oh my goodness. Yeah, invalid probably. All right, let's go invalid. Oh,
it's actually allowed. What?
No way. Like,
Spaces get ignored by the spec, but the email client
What?
rejects this. Oh, yeah, okay. So I was actually right and wrong at the same time.
Wait. How is that valid? Like, what about this space here?
So, yeah, that space is allowed.
How is it allowed? Because it said that you couldn't have. Wait. The previous one said that you couldn't have, anything after a space. Was it?
Yeah, you couldn't have spaces in the middle.
Well, guys, we told you. We told you this was fun. Like, yeah, this is it. Nathan was right. We're fine. We'll give Nathan a clap. Why not? Why not? All right, mate. Next question. So we have 2 more to go, guys, and then we're going to bow out for the night or for the day, obviously, depending on where you're watching NerdKnight from. And by the way, guys, if you have not already, adding your questions or any comment that you want to make in the comment section, definitely do so. At NerdKnight, you are all certified keyboard warriors. We want you to be keyboard warriors. We want you to contribute. We want you to be part of the show. And we want you to have a good time, learn a ton, and, just have fun all around. So, yeah, this is definitely what it is. So Nathan and I are definitely not a know-it-all, people. We want you guys to be part of this fun. So what about this one? Trailing -dot. Like, this is definitely not right. Like,
I feel like it's going to interpret anything after the dot as the TLD.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's probably going to do that. Or like you could potentially have a. Oh wait, you cannot. Wait a minute. What am I thinking? I'm thinking you could potentially have a subdomain here, but then I realize, wait, this is where the user prefix goes. The domain information goes here. So if you had a subdomain, the subdomain will have to essentially go here before the E, and then .example. So a subdomain could be, cool or steak.example.com.
Oh boy.
All right. I know. Internal stranger. That one was very, very, very crazy. I was not expecting that. So this one I would say is invalid. What do you guys think online? Because I don't think you can have a full stop here. Like, that dot is definitely weird.
It doesn't make any sense.
No. Like, if someone sends you an email like with a dot, what are you going to do with it? All right. Look, whilst we're waiting for the comments to come in, like, I think this one is definitely going to be invalid. Like, based on what I know about emails. But like, again, we've been wrong before, right? Yeah, Fame says that it's invalid. So we've been wrong before. What do we reckon? Oh, Andre thinks it's valid. Okay. That's cool. That's cool thinks it's invalid. I don't like.
I don't like the dot.
International is like, me don't like it, the dot. Invalid. yeah, that is definitely sus. Like, I did not I have no idea whether it's going to be valid or not. So I'm looking at it and going, it could be either of both. Like we've seen from the previous question that it could literally be either of both. I guess we'll all go invalid because everyone kind of thinks that this is sus. So let's go. Yes. We are correct. The local part cannot start or end with a dot. Dots in the middle are fine. What? Guys, do you see?
That's awesome.
This is so cool. Dots in the middle are fine. So you could easily send an email to create an email address that has this semi.chucks at, I don't know, steakhouse.com.
Oh, I just thought of that. Like, we see email addresses like that all the time with the dot in the middle. Why did it make... Oh, my God.
I literally did not know why my brain did not see it. Like, my email literally has a dot in it. my steakhouse email. Guys, send an email to semi.chugs@steakhouse.com to get a free steak. Nah, I'm just joking. Actually, we should make it a thing. Nathan, why don't we build steakhouse.com?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Make
We
it
should
a lab
definitely...
environment.
I know. Steakhouse.com would be cool. Yeah, we're definitely going to... It's official now. We're going to build steakhouse.com, and we're going to make it a lab environment. SammySteakhouse.com. Yes, we are. Cool. So, guys, I think one more to go. Oh, two more to go. So, fed up yet? Wait, space before example?
We've got a space next
and
to
then
the
a space after. Yeah, I don't even need to think about it. This is invalid.
Oh, What was the last one that included the space next to the at? Was that invalid or was that...
Yeah, so the one that had this, the one that had the space here, that was valid because it said that it did not like the fact that the space, it only doesn't like it when the space in the middle. But if the space is at the end, it's fine with it. Well, that's what I remember.
So maybe, but it's next to the at, so maybe it's valid.
I think surely, no domain ever has a space in it. Like, if this is supposed to be the domain section, I've never seen a domain with a space in it. So
it might just be like another case of it's valid for the RFC, but the email client doesn't rejects it or something.
Doesn't let you do it. Yeah, guys. So one of the things we found out was that a lot of this stuff, even though they're valid according to the RFC, that the 2288, even though it's valid according to that RFC, you cannot actually go and create a Gmail with it. Like a lot of emails, email servers or public email servers would actually not let you create it because they have some sort of a validation to ensure that you don't actually go and create something dodgy that will crash the whole server. All right, so people think this is invalid. All right, cool. Let's see. Oh, we are wrong.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Similar to the local part? Yeah, so it uses the same logic. So there you go. It's valid.
Well, this is it. Literally, just read this. Similar to the local part, the domain part can also have spaces around it. Not allowed in the middle, though. That would be silly. It's like, you can... Oh, seriously. Oh, Internal Stranger, I think the RFC is 2288 and then 8822. I believe so. We might have to go all the way back. Well, let's just Google it. Email RFC. No AI. Yeah, 2822. Yes, that's it. We have 2822. There was another one, the more recent one, Nathan. I think we did see that. Was that 53? Yeah, I thought that was 2288.
Yeah.
Well, apparently we have no idea what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Oh no. I don't really go out of my way to look at RFCs. That's a bit weird.
Yeah, literally, there's so many RFCs you cannot memorize them all. A few RFCs that I do remember is things like the Wi-Fi, 802.2 or something like that. That's probably because the RFC. I think the RFC is No, I think the RFC for that is actually 2032 or something. Hang on, let's actually Google that. Well, I guess case in point, RFC for Wi-Fi. If I can type. Oh. It's 5414. Oh, wait a minute. That's the actual, the IEEE band. That's what I was thinking about, the 802.11. Yes, I mean, yes. Alex, we absolutely need your soundboard. I don't think I'm actually doing it right. Whatever Alex is, we shout out to you, mate. All right, the last one for the night. Before we we sort of call it. So normal WTF is this at example.com. Guys, this is the last one. So let's make it count. Valid or invalid? Go. Yeah, is it thumbs up? Which one do you guys think?
I don't know if I've ever seen parentheses in an email address.
I've never seen a parenthesis in an email address. But who knows? Like, just like how you and I forgot that you can actually have a dot in an email. It could be a thing as well. Like, has anyone seen parentheses around email before? Right, Fim thinks it's invalid.
Going by the same logic, spaces are in the middle there, so it's going to be invalid.
Yeah. Well, unless the parenthesis actually means something. So Andre thinks it's invalid. Well, Andre thinks it's valid. Oh, that's interesting. Andre, I would like to know what you're thinking. It's like, have you been speaking to some genius who's like valid?
So do you think it's against the rules of the quiz to go out and research what the brackets mean?
It is definitely cheating. That is definitely cheating. I was gonna say, I expected more from you. I expected more from you, mate. Don't cheat. All right, I think we have more of invalids than valid. So I think the one person that is remaining to vote is I think the one more person that should vote is that's cool. So that's cool. Do you have any votes?
What if I voted?
Well, you vote. Let's see if the invalids if the year carries it on nay.
I think this is a curveball.
Okay.
It's a reverse psychology question. Before they told us that spaces are not allowed in the middle.
Yes.
So they've likely introduced something to do with the brackets that makes this valid, and I don't know why. But I'm just gonna say this is a curveball, and it's probably valid.
All right, let's see. Okay, let's check it out. Ooh, that is actually correct. Okay, so technically valid. Did you know emails could have technically I don't know what that sounds like. That sounds like yes, valid in my dreams, but not actually in real life. It's like, did you know emails could have comments? Anything in parentheses is a comment. Ooh, that's interesting. Introduced in RFC 822. Oh, that's the one. But made obsolete in RFC 5322. It was 5322, Nathan. How did we think it was 2288? Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, reverse mind. Reverse mind
so
there.
This means that I can add my Python documentation to for tools that I've made in the past. I could go and take all the tools I've made in the past that I've currently got on GitHub and add that as a comment to my email address.
That would be very funny. It might not actually work. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks so much, everyone, for playing along. We definitely recommend that you continue on this. This is really good because it teaches you a lot about how emails function, so that obviously, like from a defensive point of view, when someone sends you a malicious email, you kind of know what it is and you know how to defend against it. So yeah, that was CTF Hands-On Labs. I think this the coolest segment so far. Nathan, what do you think? Like, I definitely learned a lot from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely learned a lot from that. Guys, I am going to fix the music. It's either I fix the music or I start rapping. Every single time it comes on. Oh my goodness. Well, we're actually going to have actual music after this one stops, because we're about to wrap it up. Like, I genuinely want to say thank you so much for everyone who's stuck behind us.
I like that joke.
Oh, that's good. Good catch, man. Good catch. Well, when the music is over, wait, if I go to the next page, does it start again? Oh, it does. Oh my goodness. Well, if you have stayed with us all this while and you've listened the whole time and you've basically been part of this fun and this show, and how good was Abdul, Nathan? How good was that dude?
He knows a lot of stuff.
I know.
I need to pick his brains.
Guys, please put in the comment section if you want us to bring Abdul back, to show us a few things, right? We'll actually get Abdul to sort of do a CTF or something so we can watch and learn. So guys, if you want to see Abdul again, definitely put that in the comment section so we can, we can start pulling the levers that we need to pull to be able to bring him back. And also, if you have not already visited CyLynk.com, it's CyLynk with a Y, so CYLYNK.com. Definitely do so. You can do our job ready tracks. It's job guaranteed and it's money back guaranteed. Only available here in Australia for now. We're going to be rolling that out globally once we understand the local market. We would work with you one-on-one with an expert cybersecurity coach and mentor to help you land a job in cybersecurity in as early as 6 months. So for those who have obviously landed jobs without, they know what that feels like. So you can go to our platform to read all about the comments and the testimonials that we've received. Now, if you're not currently in Australia, if you're in a different part of the world and you're essentially wondering, well, Bama, Semi, I cannot afford to buy the job ready tracks, or it's not available in my country at the moment. What do I do? Well, I would say our courses, you can buy our courses right now. So our courses are designed, and this is why it's so unique. They're designed with job readiness in heart. They're not designed with gamification. They're not designed to be cool. They're designed to ensure that you are actually job ready. So unlike other courses out there, our courses will essentially make sure that you're job ready. So we are actually working actively with hiring managers across our partner employers to ensure that you guys are getting the real deal, the kind of knowledge that you need to actually be able to do the work that you're going to get in cybersecurity. So if you have not already check us out, buy a course today so you can support the Hack for Good movement, right? Nathan, wouldn't that be cool?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, guys, definitely come along. Check us out. Reach out to us. Send us an email. You can reach out to our team at support@cylynk.com. And also, the last but not the least item there is the certifications. So we currently have CompTIA certification, Linux Professional Institute certification, Security Blue Team certifications. So if you are thinking of doing your Blue Team level 1, or you're thinking of doing your Security Plus certification, or you're trying to do your LPIC 1 or 2 or 3 certification, any of the CompTIA certification that you're trying to do, either that be the Security Plus, the Pen Test Plus, the A Plus, any of them, you can actually buy that from us. So go to CyLynk.com and then check out our certifications. And remember this, guys, don't forget, when you buy anything from us, you are actually sponsoring the Hack for Good mission to disrupt cybercrime globally. And we have some awesome things that are installed for you guys over the next few months. There's a lot of new things cool things that we're going to be releasing, and of course, all centered around job readiness, helping you get job ready. So with that, look, Nathan, I think that's a pretty good place for us to start, bringing in the jam. So yes, thanks so much everyone for joining today. If you're here with us, let's get the music going. Where's the actual volume, right? So guys, it's been your boy Sammy Chucks and Nathan Kerner. Right, it's been fun. Nathan, what do you reckon? Has it been fun?
It's been fun. It sounds by the music, I hear police sirens in the back. The cops might be after us.
Guys, this is great. We are just getting started, right? And I'm sure you can see all of the technical things we're still sort of sorting out and smoothing out. But I can promise you, you are always going to get a great show at NerdKnight, right? This is the only show where it's both attack and defense, right? Attack informed defense. So stick with us. And if you do have any feedback, absolutely, just send that through. And make sure you join our Discord server. Go to CyLynk.com and then click on the GitHub icon at the very bottom there. so you can join our Discord icon so you can start learning from cybersecurity experts in the industry. And also, also bring your dad jokes and your memes. Nathan, what do you think about the memes and dad jokes on the Discord server? Next level.
We need. Yeah. We need to take the memes to the next level. Dammy, where are you?
Yeah, damn, if you're listening to this, man, you need to do a better job as a community manager. But it's been awesome. I could not have spent my Saturday night somewhere else other than you all. So thank you very much, for sticking with us. With that, I think we bow out. Yeah.